Ubisoft could be well on their way to destroying the Assassin's Creed franchise with their announcement of the next Assassin's Creed, Infinity. I won't lie, the name is actually cool, but it seems Ubisoft wants some of that sweet, sweet live service money. When the original Assassin's Creed launched in 2007, Desmond and Altair took us on a journey, which consisted of the Animus, Assassins, Templars, treacherous allies, and an alien race called the Isu, and their powerful pieces of Eden. From there, the series would create one of the most beloved heroes of a generation, Ezio Auditore da Firenze, who would become a staple of the entire series with his trilogy. Finally, Ubisoft would create arguably the greatest Assassin's Creed ever made, Assassin's Creed Unity. Black Flag, of course. Black Flag is still the best pirate simulator ever. Edward Kenway was an amazing protagonist, and the sea shanties, never forget. After some disappointing releases, Ubisoft did the unthinkable and decided to freshen up the Assassin's Creed series. And what could be one of the most controversial decisions the studio ever made for the series, bringing in RPG elements. Fans of the series would get their first taste with Assassin's Creed Origins in 2017. Origins would divide the fanbase like no other game in the series, notably the lack of stealth gameplay, repetitive world, and lacking RPG elements. And this is where it gets interesting. Ubisoft continued the huge open world RPG elements with their next two installments, Odyssey and Valhalla. This takes us to present day, where Ubisoft just announced Infinity. We don't know much about it, but Bloomberg reported, Assassin's Creed Infinity will comprise different but interconnected Assassin's Creed games, with Ubisoft adding more games from different settings over the life of the service. Of course, there was no official confirmation from Ubisoft. Personally, I think it does sound pretty cool, but for the Assassin's Creed series, I don't want it. The series thrived on great protagonist and antagonist to create an amazing story with awesome stealth ability in a single game. I find it very hard to believe Ubisoft could pull this off with a live service game and make it make sense. One of the best live service games, Destiny 2, has a very hard time with their own story elements. How is Ubisoft going to pull this off? I envision this game exactly like Destiny 2 actually. Just think of the tower being an Abstergo building where players will see each other in a social setting, and there will be Animuses lined around. And that's where you'll see the map after you log into the Animus. Imagine a Destiny planet menu, but it'll be different periods of time, like let's say World War II, the Mongol Empire, or feudal Japan. Then you'll become whoever the assassin is in those time periods, and literally play it like Destiny, solo or with co-op missions. The amount of content that is needed for this would be insane. And guess what? Ubisoft will sell it in expansions. The live service model can be a goldmine, and Ubisoft appears to be eyeing that. It's kinda tragic, but as a business, I don't blame them. It just sucks it's at the cost of Assassin's Creed. And to make matters more ambiguous, Infinity will be developed by both studios, Montreal and Quebec. Rather than continuing to pass the baton from game to game, we profoundly believe this is an opportunity for one of Ubisoft's most beloved franchises to evolve in a more integrated and collaborative manner, Ubisoft said in a blog post. What confuses me is that the studio with the least experience, Quebec, who did Syndicate and Odyssey, are the ones in charge of overseeing the entire project, while Montreal, who did AC 1-3, Black Flag, Origins, and Valhalla, isn't. So if you had any hope the Assassin's Creed series would get rid of RPG elements, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. These two studios working together have other issues as well. The two people that are apparently in charge of Infinity are Mark Alexis Cote and Jonathan Dumont. You probably heard these names last year when Ubisoft got hit hard with abuse allegations within their studios. These two are allegedly two of the worst ones, who are named for contributing to and perpetuating a culture of fear and oppression, and among other things we won't get into. If Ubisoft is still going through all these studio issues, is it really smart to focus on such a huge game? And to make it worse, combining two studios who are in shambles? Assassin's Creed Infinity seems to be the last-ditch effort for money from a franchise that seems to be losing its identity. A live service game demands tons of content and a compelling story to keep players entertained. I don't see how Ubisoft can have so many different time periods and interlocking stories, with protagonist and antagonist, because some of the best characters in the Assassin's Creed series are the bad guys. Are the Isu involved in this? There are so many questions and just so much that'll need to be in the game, it's hard to see it not as a money grab. It pains me to talk about the Assassin's Creed series like this, but it appears to have run its course. It was great while it lasted, and it gave me so many memories I will cherish for Infinity and beyond. But I don't see Assassin's Creed Infinity lasting very long at all. And as always, I would love to hear your guys' comments down below. And until next time, peace.